Well, a major topic I cover on this channel is the Aaron Smith 11 grift and his SPTV co-conspirators and their real crimes or just cringy antics, creating spy networks and helping fascists. No, I'm not joking. They are doing that. They're doing it actively. They're doing it implicitly. That is what they do. But let's first expose BLM, progressive, woke, whatever, SJW. I don't really care about the terms anymore. I'm going to be a little critical of Anna and the Young Turks. Let me be very clear. Do like Anna. She's done some very iffy things, and it's pretty clear she's becoming more and more right wing. Okay, whatever. And some people are doing disastrous clickbait videos on the Young Turks collapsing. Well, they're not total collapse, but it is a bit of a decline. Yeah, their viewership is down. They are still gaining people. They're actually up like 100,000 people apparently, subscribers, but their views are fairly low. So at least back in the day, Anna and Cenk were a little more honest about the BLM and their downside because BLM has been enmeshed with many controversies, many frauds. It is just a clown show. Now, I'm sure there are some good activists, but there's some questionable types, which we're now going to get into. And I double checked the Young Turks real quick. The last couple of weeks, they have not covered this. This is a recent story, so maybe they will cover it, or maybe it's hidden behind one of their members' videos, but thus far, with public videos, apparently they're not going to cover this. So, Mr. Mac, yeah, you can't make this up. So, a black man called Mac, he's a BLM activist. He's been there for a while. Apparently, he was active during the George Floyd years. And essentially, the police raided his house. Apparently, the video is a little bit unclear. He ran off. They tackled him to the ground, and he was screaming, "I said no." Again, details are murky, so be careful here. Take this with a grain of salt. Apparently, he was caught texting an underage girl of some kind. I think he's running some kind of youth program in Florida. And there you go, there you go. And apparently, this guy's a bit of a minor celebrity. He appeared on a lot of these progressive things, including the Young Turks. He also apparently got a UK endorsement. I'm not joking. Some company in the UK endorsed him, though that company is apparently quietly taking him off of their whatever company page or whatever. Apparently, he's gone. He disappeared. He's no longer the hometown hero. He's no longer beautiful Malcolm X, super activist man. He's just, run of the mill predator. Now, to be fair, we don't have final evidence, but Chris Hansen, who's behind this raid, apparently says that it was not a friendly or professional conversation. He says he was helping these women and girls out with some kind of legit trafficking issue. And Chris Hansen's like, no, girlfriend. The text tell a different story. He didn't reveal the text, so I want to be fair to the guy. But yeah, I mean, either way, if they got it wrong, he has a big lawsuit he can have against the police and Chris Hansen. On the other hand, if they do have solid evidence, then yeah, this looks real bad. And to be fair to the BLM corrupt people, mainly they steal the money. Now, that's not good either. Fraud is not good, especially for such a good cause, because, yes, clearly, in some cases, racial minorities are being brutalized. But yeah, the usual thing is they just steal the money to live in $1 million mansions. Because, you can't just stick to a $100,000 mansion anymore. You need the big mansion. So there we go. And of course, the progressive media is kind of ignoring this. The MAGA people are having a laughing fest at this embarrassment. I don't have any connection to these people. I think BLM is good in principle, but obviously the actual execution with these organizations, yeah, they've got a lot of corruption to answer to. And speaking of corruption, we're now going to be segueing into an Aaron Smith 11 ally. Or to be fair, that Keliah is more a big search fanatic, a big fanatic of Marilyn H.O., and those people. So she's more of a second rung grifter, to be fair to her. And she is suffering a lot. She legit has a lot of medical problems, health problems, but she was caught red-handed lying. And not even a small lie, but a massive lie. So let's deal with, well, there's two major lies. One major lie is that she screenshotted remarks she put into the Unrelatable Reese Reddit. Now let me back up for the people confused. Reese is, well, she's many things. She's a con artist, she's a grifter, she's a liar, she's a manipulator. Keliah and her were friendly only a few months ago, but Keliah got tired of the grifting. So even though now she's team anti-Reese, she still apparently has some fond memories of the grifting and is trying to minimize her complicity and say, it was all Reese's fault. Iranus and Sir just saving children with Jennas. Reese ruined everything. And although I can say, yes, Reese has done many horrific things, including covering up for another predator, Mr. Scoville, and minimizing his crimes, and even just denying them, and saying, well, these are just rumors, guys. No, they're not rumors. We've double, triple checked. The court documents seem legit. If they are rumors, you need to show us some evidence there, but they don't seem to be rumors. So there we go. So you might think these people are united, but, Unrelatable Reese has an anti-Nazi policy, which apparently is upsetting Keliah, because, Nazis are good now in her brain. Alrighty then. So she put in this comment and said, I know you people. I know you. I got the screenshot. You're going to erase the comment. And I double checked last night. No, the comment is there. Now, maybe they erased it just recently, but the last time I checked, the comment is still there. You didn't need to screenshot it because persons she's accusing of censoring her, put up the comment. So no, there's no vile conspiracy to silence her or get rid of her screenshot comment. And you can show your screenshot on your channel. There you go. Anyway, but that might be like, okay, maybe she just jumped the gun. Mistake, error of judgment. But oh, no. She did outright lying. So, and this is her big thing to prove the other people are liars. So she was very friendly with Reese. And some people, okay, we should be precise here, misreported that she was a mod for Reese's YouTube channel, Relatable Reese. She was not the moderator of the YouTube channel, but apparently she was an administrator on Facebook. Now, I want to be very clear. I do have a Facebook. I really almost never use it. It's from years and years ago. So I have no idea how Facebook really works, guys. I know that there are groups, and I guess apparently Keliah was administering and helping behind the scenes with the group. But some people got it wrong and said, oh, she's modding the channel. It's like, you fools! You moronic liars and grifters! I don't mod for the channel! Got it all wrong! Don't believe them, believe the Keliah. Okay, calm down. Yes, a detail was wrong, but the substance was not wrong. And that's also what she's, not telling the truth about, saying, oh, wait a minute, okay, fine, you weren't the moderator, but you were managing the mods and you were administering the Facebook. That does mean you had behind the scenes role. Again, let's get the details straight. I mean, there is a difference if the CEO of a company is guilty of the fraud versus, the vice president of finance. You can say the corruption in the corporation is high, but you want to get the name straight and the details straight because it was, right? Was it the vice president or the president, the CEO, whatever? Okay, details matter. But the basic gist that Reese was running a big scam, you were helping the big scam, people are exposing the big scam, but she doesn't seem to like their politics because they think Nazis are bad. And she's like, well, really? Are they though? Are they though? Oh, and I'm not through exposing this woman, but let me just finish off with another lie, although we'll do that in another video. She's like, guys, I'm not even part of the drama. Drama? What drama? I don't no. And then she jumped on Marilyn's channel, which is notorious for getting into fights with other channels and creators, and explicitly does so. Don't believe me, guys, just go through her titles over and over again. She's fighting with Miss J. She's fighting with me. Fighting with True Clear Media. Fighting with various other people. And over again, she's like, I have issues. I have problems. Yada, yada, yada. Keliah's right there. Just did, stream together. So for a woman says, no drama. I'm sick. I'm just trying to get better. Well, why are you working with Marilyn to increase the drama? Doesn't make any sense. But anyway, so there we go. So, corrupt case of progressive woke activists not being exactly who they say they are with Mr. Mac. Okay, case number one. Keliah's politics? I don't know. She's pro-surge, who's gay, so she's going gay fascist. Is she combining the gay and the fascism? I guess we're going to go with her. And Marilyn says, I'm not a racist and I'm very pro-gays. So they're mixing the racism and the gayism and the fascism. And there we are. Well, it's very confusing. We'll say that much, but it is a grift. And there we are. And all in the background is Aaron Smith 11 laughing at his Nazis and criminals creating more havoc. And he just yucks it up with fake Tom Cruise videos. And there we go.